Hi, I'm Paul Eggert, Vice President of Governmental Affairs for the Minnesota Realtors.
And I'm Ryan Hamilton, Associate Legal Counsel for the Minnesota Realtors.
Welcome to this week's legislative update. Well, it's a busy week at the Capitol. We have the first kind of major deadline of the session coming up on March 22nd, which is first committee deadline. So the committees are scheduling a lot of bills, there are a lot of hearings going on. And so I just wanted to provide an update on a bill that I testified on, which is the Residential Property Assessed Clean Energy Loans, or PACE loans, Consumer Protection Bill. We had a great hearing in the Senate Energy Committee. I testified along with the Bankers Association, Legal Aid, Center for Energy and Environment, in support of Senator Pratt's bill, which is a product of the task force of which we were a member that met over the interim. Again, these loans have been an issue around the country. PACE is in 3 states right now: California, Missouri, Florida, and there have been a number of issues that have caused problems with real estate transactions, particularly in California, that we want to avoid here in Minnesota. So this bill contains a number of provisions, and probably the most significant for our members is we address the position of a PACE lien, because again, these are loans that are paid back as an assessment on property taxes. This bill would make that lien subordinate to the mortgage, and that's important for credit availability and making sure that things go smoothly at the closing table. So that bill is moving through the process. There will probably be at least 4 committee hearings in the last week heading into deadline, so we'll be busy with that bill. I also want to address a bill that was introduced this week that would require well testing at property transfer. This is a bill that we just learned about earlier in the week, or last week I should say, and it's coming from the administration, and the Department of Commerce is leading the support for that over at the legislature. Ryan and I have been meeting with members and with the Department of Commerce, with committee staff, expressing our concerns about any proposal that would mandate testing like this at the point of the real estate transaction. So stay tuned. We'll have more updates next week and the following weeks as we approach committee deadline. Now I want to turn it over to Ryan for a couple of more issues and an update on Housing Day.
Hi, we've also been tracking a bill that would bring RULONA to Minnesota. And who is RULONA? Well, that's actually an acronym. It's the Revised Uniform Law on Notarial Acts. And there are 2 provisions in that pretty big model law that there's been a task force that took a model law and has tweaked it to make it Minnesota specific. And there are 2 provisions, or there's language, 2 sections of language in that bill that we think would be that affect real estate and be beneficial. The first is it would allow for electronic documents, documents that were signed and produced electronically, to be recorded. So county recorders, county examiners could print a copy of the electronic document and have that recorded, so long as it's been notarized and certified as a true and authentic copy of the original document. Second, the Minnesota RULONA would allow for remote notarization. And there's a company out there that allows, using technology, to allow folks to notarize documents remotely. And we think that will add speed to transactions and make your lives easier. Finally, we had Housing Day at the Capitol on Wednesday. It was a great day. Several hundred of you and your colleagues showed up at the Capitol. We had 90% of the legislators were visited by our members. We had a great reception in downtown St. Paul, and Majority Leader Gazelka showed up and gave us a good talk. Charlie Cook had some great words about elections. It was a great day, and we can't thank you enough for your presence at the Capitol and sharing your real-world stories from the market. That's what legislators need to hear, and only you can provide that. So thanks for showing up. We'll see you next year.